timeless reading for Leo. Before I get into your cards, I want to apologize in advance for loud background noises. I'm sitting in the same room with my bird, and my bird can be very loud. Also, my neighbors who live in the apartment below, they are partying. The music is very loud. I don't know how audible it is in the background, but I decided to stay in the same room with my bird, even though some people might be annoyed by his sounds, because sometimes I want to include him into the reading his actions, noises, and energies, and using them to interpret your reading here. Right now he's playing with one of his many bells. I think it's his favorite bell. And he's swinging it around, enjoying the physical effect it has. I feel like he's enjoying the momentum of the bell. It is hanging by a quite long string, and he's clipping against it, and then he's watching it swing around. So this might be something to jump into your cards right now. Maybe there is something about physics and momentum that is very interesting for you at the moment. I'm also getting something for you because your reading starts with the wisdom card and Knight, and it gives me the vibe that there is something about wanting to combine science and spirituality. I'm also realizing there's something about birds or wings. I mean, this is a bat, not a bird. But there are owls. There are a lot of wings, butterflies, birds, bat. Yeah, so maybe it's about momentum and being able to not, or to resist gravity. That you might find some spiritual meaning in that. Maybe this is a sign that a spiritual animal is coming into your life. Maybe you will become the owner of a pet bird. Maybe you have been someone who is not very interested in birds, but this might change. Maybe it's not literally about a bird or birds. Maybe it is just about flying. Maybe it's about airplanes. I don't know, but there is something important here about flying, about wings, and about resisting gravity. Something about physics and momentum. For some of you, it might also be about meeting an older person whom you perceive as very wise, but in an educational and intellectual way in the first glance. This might be a retired professor or someone who was very deeply into science, but someone who grew out of science, someone who realized that there is more depth and meaning in deeper things, someone who was looking for something more profound, someone who maybe opened the door of science, but they stepped deeper. They did not only go to the nice places. Let's say science is a big mansion, and you can walk through all the main rooms, but you can also decide to go into the hidden rooms, the cellar, and all the dark and seemingly uninteresting rooms in the mansion. And this person decided to walk further, to walk through the field of science, just to find something very spiritual and profound at the bottom. this person or you, someone here is very good with animals. Maybe someone can read the mind of animals. For a very few, there is also something here about becoming a therapist for animals. And still, I'm not done with these cards here. I want to pull in the awareness card as well. For some of you, it just speaks of a spiritual awakening, or if you already had that, a deepening of that, or a progression in your journey, like having a lot of answers, having a lot of things where you've been stuck. Now, sorry for the interruption. I have something in my hand, and while I was talking, I was a little bit excited, and I was doing this here, and my bird just stopped all his actions, and he's very interested in this movement. Like, he became very silent for a while, and I can see in his body language that he is extremely alert, not in a negative way. He's very interested in what I was doing here. So there might be something in for, like, it's physics. Maybe it's the movement of a wheel. There's also some kind of momentum in it. Yeah, I just can't let go of it. Something is very important about physics here in this reading for you. So sorry, I had to pull that in. Yes, something is happening at nights for you. It feels like a very warm and thick energy, like these hot summer nights when it doesn't cool down properly, just a little bit. And the entire day or the entire week was very, very hot. And the heat is building up in the streets and in your home. And the air is becoming very thick. And then you can feel that soon thunder will occur, and the air is becoming full of tension and even thicker and also a little bit moist. This is this kind of feeling here. This is the vibe of these three cards that I'm getting. You can also see a lightning here. Maybe during a very specific and particular night, something will shift for you internally, and maybe it will be a night just as I described it. A warm night with thunder, where you will either meet someone who will walk you through a spiritual realm or guide you there, or open something within you, or you will find that by yourself within yourself. But I feel like this is very important. This is happening during nighttime. In general, during nighttime, you are going through a lot of spiritual learning, whether you are asleep at night or you are working or you are watching TV. Something is deepening for you during nighttime, and this is for a reason. 64 nights. Usually I do not include the numbers of the cards too much. I don't give a lot of rise to that, but here I feel like there is something about exactly 64 nights that might be important. We have air. I feel like it indicates a little bit of worry when you wake up the next day. Maybe you are sleepwalking, I don't know, maybe you are consciously awake at night, maybe you are dreaming. Whatever happens at night, it is of a spiritual significance for you, whether you're aware of it or not. You will become aware of it if you're not yet. You might fear that you are interpreting too much into something, even into your spirituality. You might also analyze too much. You're giving too much mental energy and something is growing bigger and it's bloating. It's ready to burst. You might worry about wasting something, about wasting time, wasting energy, also wasting resources, wasting money. Maybe you are worried about spending your money or investing your money into the wrong things, investing your thoughts into the wrong things. Maybe you have started something spiritual and you're afraid you have invested your time and energy into the wrong thing or the wrong person. There is something about that here with the air card. So it's like blowing air all around, and you might feel a little bit tired in your lungs. There's also something about headache and migraine. That has increased maybe a little bit. And I feel like somehow it's a little bit connected to your spiritual journey here, because something in your energy system is changing, and it might increase a little bit of if you already are a headache person, it might feel like something in your energy system is constantly under pressure because it's ready to burst apart so it can grow and something new can be born out of it. And you might feel that as some extra pressure in your head. In the second row, we have lust, healing, destiny, and vacillation. And with the lust card, when I looked at it in the first seconds after I pulled the card, I had a feeling it's not literally about lust. It feels very innocent, actually. Like my bird is being innocent again. And, sorry, I have to interrupt again. He is sitting on one of his branches and pretending to fly. He can actually fly, but sometimes he's just, he stocks his feet onto the branch, he grabs onto the branch, and he's just fanatically letting his wings fly without taking off. And then the feathers that he lost that lie on the bottom of the cage, they, through all this wind and vibration, they are flying upwards, and then he's watching his own feathers fly around him. He does that a lot during the day. He likes watching his old feathers rise from the bottom to the top and then fall down again. So here we have this whole thing again. Maybe you can use this as a metaphor. It's very important. Gravity and flying and wings and physics. He's doing it again. And he's fake mad. You can hear him grumbling, but it's not real madness. It's like he has a little bit of a smile on his face while he's grumbling. It's a cheerful energy, it's a playful energy. It's not a serious energy, so maybe your worries here are not justified. Maybe it also means that whatever worries you put into this balloon, metaphorically spoken, as long as you stop early enough so that the balloon doesn't explode, then you can tie it up and let it fly. So something is here in the balloon as well that indicates flying. Maybe it's just a huge, secretive and riddled announcement of a flight that you will soon take, some kind of traveling that's very mysterious and important. I don't know. Yeah, with the last card, I first had the feeling that it is actually about aesthetics. Could also be about art. It could be about slightly sexual art, not pornographic art, but a little bit of, when it's not too obvious, it's a little bit hidden. It's a little bit more tasteful and artistic. Maybe it's just about eating plants. No, I'm just kidding. Or maybe it is. Maybe you want to become a vegetarian. The last card is somehow, it's very subtle. It has a very subtle energy. I mean, it pops up in your reading for a reason. But all the other cards, they are more obvious and they are very strong. The energies are very strong. This energy is very slight and it's like something is in the background. Maybe something is in the back of your mind. Maybe you were planning a project. Maybe you are, or you are not planning it properly. You are thinking about it. You are contemplating of, I don't know, drawing a slightly sexual painting that is very artistic, but maybe you are afraid to do that because maybe your usual art style is completely different, or maybe you are thinking of writing someone a message indicating something but in a tasteful way and you are afraid of that. I don't know what it is. Maybe you are just in the stage of contemplating, but you are not actually planning because you are very unsure if you want to start something here. It's very much, actually I could put it below the other cards because it's just in the background. It's like a very silent background music here that's swinging through your reading. We have healing, we have destiny. Two nice cards here next to each other. With the healing card I'm getting, there's some kind of break for your mind, for your mental state that you are currently in. Also, if you had increased headaches, it will not last for long. It will become better, just maybe even overnight. Like there is a cleansing of your spiritual energies, and that will shift a lot of physical aspects in your body automatically. But mainly I feel like there is some kind of rest that your mind is getting. You know, the mind could also just be very active, not necessarily only in a negative way by overthinking, but maybe by trying to analyze something, trying to plan or structure something, like always being busy, always having ideas, always thinking of doing something, like some kind of restlessness that will come to an end. It will just be given to you as it looks like from some higher source. Like just rest, just stop thinking about all these things. Just close your eyes. You might even experience some kind of tingling on your skin, especially on your head. So whatever put this pressure in your head internally, energetically, and physically and mentally, it will be resolved very quickly. Maybe even whatever this is, this artistic project, or maybe it is sexual activity itself, like something will relieve all your thinking and all your headaches, and it will be very helpful and healing. With the Destiny card, there is also the word acceptance swinging with it. At least that's how I perceive it right now. it's like not trying to fight the strings that you're attached to. It's more like letting them guide you and also being relieved by realizing that you do not have as much responsibility on your shoulders as you thought you would, spiritually spoken. Maybe in your mundane life you have a lot of responsibility, but in a spiritual way you might have also thought, oh my God, I'm carrying so much responsibility, that you will realize that something is guiding you, someone is carrying you, and it will feel like a huge relief. Like realizing you are the actor in the movie of your life, and some higher force has created some parts of this movie. And you're not just the watcher. It's like the higher force is the watcher. And somehow this thought or realization will bring relief to you. It's like this is what you needed at the moment, or you will realize that this is what you needed. You need to release the pressure of responsibility, of spiritual responsibility. It's very interesting. And it feels very profound right now. It seems like due to this belief or feeling, you had a lot of choices you didn't make in life, or they were very hard to make, and when you made a choice you often worried that it was the wrong one, because you have a lot of spiritual thoughts on your mind that are a hindrance, or religious beliefs, and you kept on worrying, like maybe you had a specific idea of who or how God is, and whenever you had to make a decision in the physical world, this was somehow in the back of your mind and in your conscience, and maybe sometimes it held you back from making certain choices, or maybe you made choices that afterwards you felt you were unhappy with, or maybe you decided to not do anything at all because you thought maybe God or whoever, your own soul, someone would not be content with it. This is also very interesting. Yeah, there's also something about realizing that whatever choice you make or made, it cannot be wrong from the higher perspective, because somehow there will be some kind of proof to you that you are absolutely guided by these strings, like the marionette, which doesn't mean that you don't have any free will. It's just like a helpful guidance, and it's like a protection, and the hand of the upper power is playing out everything. And there's still space for freedom to make your own decisions, and whatever decision you make, it is somehow embedded in the play of life and in your destiny anyway. Like, it's very hard to put that into words, but it's a huge relief having this kind of thought or realization. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck we have no. So this actually was popping into my eyes very immediately after I pulled the cards. We have two other bottoms of the decks here with Bomb and the Wild Boar. This is a very, try me here. Also, it radiates aggression, and it gave me the feeling that around, this is your main reading, but around the main reading in the background there is some, either it's a repressed aggression, or it's a pushed away, like you are aware of this kind of anger and aggression, but you have to push it away because you can't, because it doesn't fit into society. And this aggression, this anger and rage might be due to rejection because you have a feeling that many doors were or still are closed for you, or maybe a particular person rejected you or your work. And there is a lot of anger built around this. But I'm not supposed to go further into this topic. It's just somewhere around. It's lingering around. The story is open here. I will move further into the health and lifestyle reading. So maybe it will pop up in the next Leo reading. So this fell out. It's Instagram. And seer, nerves, travel. There we have it. I was talking about wings and flying all the time. It's another confirmation. Physics, wings, flying, resisting gravity. Very important topic here. Yeah, I will not interpret these cards here too much for you. Only if I see something very special, I will mention it. But I feel like you can just take it as it resonates and interpret these cards for yourself. Ears and hands. Lungs. Lungs and air go together. Paperwork. Herbs. Protein. Okay, and some sarcastic animal spirits for you. I will be disappointed if none of the birds is popping up here. The ant, I'm small but I'm strong. The sloth, I'm lazy and I know it. The cockatiel, we have a bird. I scream and shout, I am so loud. Crab, holy crap, what a wave. The elephant, I'm social and empathetic, but I can stomp you to death. And the croc, my brain is small, my mouth is big. One more. Dolphin, I'm friendly, but I can kill a shark. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.